This is the QUBT 1 month overview reading for the month of July 2025. It's currently June 29th, 2025, 11:03 p.m. Eastern Time. QUBT at the time of this reading, $17.29 USD. We had a nice spike right into this territory, where this dark green territory where we were expecting. Didn't get the second opportunity as late as we expected. It came in a couple days early, but we pretty much nailed the price range for a near-term exit of long positions. And the shuffle video for the July reading was created on June 5th, 2025, 10:50 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video playing for you here. So what we're going to cover in this video will be the overall trend direction and chart behavior for the month of July. We're going to give you the chart behavior around the month's high and the month's low, and give you the day-by-day sequence of chart events as outlined in chronological order. We're giving you day-by-day timing. The timing is usually on point to the day, but there's plenty of cases where you'll need to give it plus or minus a couple days of wiggle room on these 1 months. And it's because these timeline cards going left to right across the screen, they chronologically represent 24 hours of time, but not each card's energy will necessarily line up perfectly with 24 hours of time. And for that, it's the sequence of chart events that's most important to follow. Timing is secondary. It's the main reason why I do not recommend trading this information alone. It took me 26 years to figure this out. Do not be so ignorant as to think that all it takes to make money in the stock market is knowing high and knowing low. I mean, anybody who's actually trades knows exactly what I'm talking about. And so this is a completely different style of trading. You don't use price levels. All right, so you don't want to do this alone. Try paper trading it if you want to trade it. Just paper trade it. It should be seen as proof that extrasensory perception can be used practically in the real world. Proof that our system works. And if you're then serious about trading this information and making consistent gains, you'll want to get our access to our monthly access subscription. It gives you the live Discord trade alerts when things do go plus or minus a day of wiggle room, or let's say I see something come up that I didn't see before. In real time, there's nothing more powerful than those Discord trade alerts and the TradingView chart link with the drawings where we draw entries and exits, highs and lows. I'm going to show you how to get all that at the end of the video after we give you one of the best trades that we see. So stay tuned for that, and let's get into it, my friends. Overall trend and chart behavior. We have a notable move to the upside standing out on a multi-day chart with one-day candlesticks, and that'll be the scale of basically everything I talk about unless otherwise specified. We should break through one main resistance to meet another resistance and then pull back to somewhere between those two price levels. It's crossed with a failed attempt to break through key resistance followed by a decline through key support. So my sense is that we have like a rally that kind of pauses, and we do a little bit of a pullback towards the later part of the month, most likely. We'll look at that in more detail as we progress. Now, what's very encouraging for the price of QUBT is seeing the Princess of Cups in the high significator position and the Ace of Cups in the low significator position, indicating that that if you can obviously make a good entry point for a long position at the low for the month, but you could also do it in the decline from the high for the month. So that indicates that we'll see the high more than once, either in the time frame of this reading, or it'll be like a higher high. It'll be in the time frame of this reading, or sometimes it'll be like revisited in the following reading. But I think we're probably seeing it in this 1 month. So with that said, let's get into the day-by-day sequence of chart events, and I'll give you one of the best trades that I see. But real quick, I want to make sure that you're aware the whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. You go to the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders. 5% of all profits should be forwarded or paid forward to one of these charities. Just click a link and donate. My friends, you're making the world a better place. This is all systematized as part of SOMET analysis. A completed trade is following through on the rule of karma, and you're paying it forward, projecting faith that you'll get more of same. 5% of the profits should also be donated back to the channel through one of these links as a form of gratitude. And the gratitude begets gratitude. These are both tools used in manifestation. Keep your conscience clean. Do the right thing with that remaining 90%. As long as you follow those rules, universe considers you an angel investor of the channel. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through, and I'm going to come find you, my friends. I love you, angel investors. You're like my family. So blessings to all my angel investors. Let's finish up this reading. So we have bumping along resistance sideways on the first, and it looks like there's a lot of price change. There's like some whipsaw action going on here in the beginning of the week for QUBT. So bumping along resistance sideways on the first. It looks like overnight a significant drop into a lowest low thus far through multiple support levels. There's a couple ways you could read the second and the third. So most likely a significant drop and then this big rally out of it into a peak or a highest high thus far towards the end of the day on the second or early in the day on the third. That would be one way to do it, or one way to read it. The other way would be that we have this big move to the upside on the second and then a sharp drop before the end of the day through multiple supports. But I like the first scenario. It feels more right. And so that rally into a peak at the end of the day on the second, it's halted on the third during that half day session. It's halted on the third with a decline through key support level. There might be a big move to the upside right at the end of the day, like at the close, which is, remember, it's a short day. And then we open lower on the 7th with a decline into key support that we recently met before. Most likely it's the same low from the second. We have a resistance level on the 8th that it's highlighted that we failed to break through many times before and or will fail to break through many times in the future. And there's a notable peak there around the 8th or the 9th. Sideways rotation. So it looks like we decline on the 8th from that resistance into a trough on the 9th through sideways rotation, and then there's a fast sudden move higher, ending the sideways rotation towards the end of the day on the 9th. We have a fake out or shake out, some sort of intentional tricky chart behavior. It's intended by the market makers to make us do something impulsively. Usually this is like some weird, like it's very often a shakeout. It could be like an indicator falsely triggered to make us think that we're going in a certain direction, but instead we reverse and go the other direction. I think that's probably what it is here. And we have like this decline at the end of the day that may make us think that we're going into lowest lows or something like that, or that we're going lower or lower. But I'm advised not to chase that decline. The following day, we make new highs after lows. Or rally through key resistance. We stay above it briefly and then break back down through it shortly thereafter into a trough towards the end of the day on the 11th. Similar chart behavior on the 14th, a prominent move higher through key resistance. We stay above it briefly and then we break back down through that price level with a full retracement, creating like a capital A in the English language. We have a prominent peak and a prominent trough taking place on the 15th. And another thing to point out is the highs and the lows are within close time proximity to each other in this QUBT reading, meaning that they could be the same day, they could be within a few days of each other, but usually it's like you go from a high to a low or the other way around in a very quick period of time. There's a range that's highlighted on the 15th. Looks like the lower end of a range is really highlighted. We rally out of a trough at the end of the day on the 15th into a crest, like morning session of the 16th, but I'm advised not to chase that crest. It turns into another decline into a trough towards the end of the day on the 16th. There may be somebody speaking there. What they're speaking on should not be fully relied upon or trusted. Some of what they're saying can be relied upon and trusted. Some of it can't, so be very, very careful. But what they speak on, it makes a big move on the 17th, pushing the upper end of a range higher into key resistance and a prominent peak on the 18th. From which, when we meet that resistance, we abruptly turn around and decline back down past the point at which the rally into that resistance started. So it makes like a pretty sharp move, reversal to the downside off of a high. A prominent peak and a prominent trough, both on the 17th and on the 18th. And on the 21st as well. Looks like 3 pokes through the same trend line, followed by a sharp drop off of that third poke. And then on the 22nd, a prominent move higher, full retracement. Rally increasing with momentum on the 23rd, moving into a sharp decline on the 24th, multiple support levels, into more significant downward movement into a trough on midday on the 25th. And it looks like we've got like a pop and a drop on the 25th, or like we have this trough and then we move towards the high that we have maybe again on the 28th, like a peak, not necessarily a highest high or anything, but like a prominent peak. There's prominent peak, prominent trough on the 25th, 26th. Failed attempt to break through key resistance on the 28th, and it'll look like the chart behavior will make it seem like we're going to break through, but instead we turn around, we decline through key support into a pretty significant move on the 29th. Usually the Magus card is a good exit for a trade. It's like usually something we've been waiting for takes place. It looks like it's to the downside there into another trough in the morning of the 30th, and there's a resistance level on the 30th that's highlighted after a bit of a rally. There's a resistance level that's highlighted that we decline from and then return to either on the 30th or in the not too distant future, like over the next few days. On the 31st, we have a near overbought crest that we sell off from through multiple support levels. And then August, we've got a unicursal hexagram with involved in some sideways rotation. So my sense is that within a period of sideways rotation in early August, we most likely have a sharp multi-day kind of decline. Either that or we'll be marking off with that sideways rotation an important technical price level that we break down through when we have the next multi-day breakdown. That's the way unicursal works, something that we're going to teach in much more detail in the Investor Profit University. Now, open enrollment, guys. I'll show you how to get that at the end of the video as well. Now, one of the best trades that I see, guys, remember, only paper trade this so that if you follow it, see that you could have made money, and then move to the actual system, guys. Come in and sign up for the monthly access subscription, because you'll know full well at that point that one trade will make it back the cost of the money, and we're doing multiple trades. Every single day we do trades. So the best trade, I'm going to show you those services in a second, but the best trade, I think, for so what I would like to see is like a lowest low thus far around the 7th, and I'd want to see sideways rotation when we're revisiting a support level from the previous day. Probably open up a partial long there. If we go lower in the end of the day, I would add to the long. There's going to be a big move breakout out of that low at the end of the day into a peak at a key resistance level we failed to break through many times before there on the 8th. So that would be where you would want to exit out at that resistance. Likely we go higher, so there's a good backup exit, but you should never use a backup exit for anything other than a backup. Let's say the first exit doesn't pan out, it's not profitable, something goes haywire, then the backup exit is what you would wait for. But never try to go for max gain, guys. The longer your money is in the market, the more likely you are to lose it. It's a fact. So you want in and out fast. Take the first profitable trade and run and use that money again in another trade. So again, if you want to actually trade that, you're serious about trading SO meta-analysis and you're looking for consistent gains, you go to our website, Tarot for Traders, hover over order now, Ugh. Click on subscriptions, and the monthly access subscription, it gets you the same type of reading that we just showed you for all of these tickers in crypto. It gives you the timing of the highest high and the lowest low for the month when we can see it. Sometimes we don't. When we see it, we say it, you know. And it gives you the best trades, all for that day-by-day sequence of chart events for those. But you also get the day trade alerts for SPY, the swing trade alerts for SPY, and all the chart drawings and Discord trade alerts. All that stuff, guys. Game-changing services. It does not get easier to trade this stuff. It just doesn't. I've been doing it for 26 years. Thousands and thousands of readings. Thousands. So blessings to everybody. Well, much love and appreciation to everybody that does that. Blessings to all my angel investors. I will see you guys on the next one. Later. Oh, and if you're interested in that Investor Profit University, click here on the IPU tab. Curriculum is here. This will be updated as we move towards October. And join now is where you would enroll. It's open enrollment. Currently 5,000 for the course. We're at max teaching 15 people this, and that's it. We won't do it again. Most likely, it'll be a one-off. And people that sign up and enroll are helping the channel to grow to the next financial level and get a bigger team, do bigger trades, cover more tickers, all that stuff. And in so doing, helping us, we are helping you to get the most that you can out of this program. So much love and appreciation to all those of you signing up. And I'll see you guys on the next one.